It is National Beer Day, not to be confused with National Drink Beer Day, which is in September, or International Beer Day, that's in August. Today is the day we celebrate when beer was once again allowed to be legally manufactured and sold following the Prohibition. To help us mark the occasion, we're joined by Ray Daniels, who is a Cicerone. Cicerone, correct, Ray?
That's the correct pronunciation.
So, which is essentially a sommelier for beer.
Sommelier for beer, that's correct. And I actually created the program and run the program. So we have a whole universe of Cicerones out there these days.
How does one become a Cicerone?
Well, it requires a great deal of drinking of beer as a prerequisite, of course. But the actual, to earn the title, is a 4-hour exam and 12 beer samples that you have to taste and correctly identify or diagnose their problems.
And how much study does that take? How long does it, what's the general process to get that degree or certification?
Right. And, you know, the study is mostly independent. There's books and resources we recommend for people, but we generally tell people, you know, if you're a young person just starting out and you want to become a certified Cicerone, about 2 years is what you should plan on. There's
no way for me to earn that classification in the next 2 minutes then?
No, that we would not be able to do.
On this day, National Beer Day, Ray, what are the biggest misconceptions as you see it right now about beer in America?
Well, I think the biggest one, Jeff, is just that beer is simpler than wine. You know, we've grown up believing wine was sophisticated and had all these great things going on, and that beer was pretty much simple. If you knew how to pull a tap handle, you knew everything you needed to know about beer.
There's always the debate about cold or ultra cold versus room temperature. How do you drink your beer? And I suppose it depends on what kind of beer it is.
Well, yeah, it very much depends on what kind of beer it is. I just recently heard of a bar that has set up a brand new draft system, and they're actually going to be serving beers at 3 different temperatures depending upon the type of beer. And, you know, it's designed to help reveal the flavors of the beer in the most beneficial light.
What are those 3 different temperatures, by the way?
Oh, well, standard draft temperatures in the United States is 38 degrees. That's sort of where American lagers were designed to be served. Most of our craft beers, our IPAs and ales, around 43, 45 degrees, somewhere in there. And some bigger, stronger beers, strong Belgian ales, imperial stouts, things like that, you can go up 50, 55, maybe even 58 degrees for some of those. So they can be fairly warm.
The biggest trends right now in American beer drinking as you see them?
Oh, wow. Everything under the sun. Every kind of IPA imaginable is being made these days. And session beers, session IPAs are the big thing right now. And that basically has taken your standard IPA, which is, say, 6.5%, 7% alcohol, and cutting it down to 4.5% to maybe 5% alcohol to make a more drinkable beer, something you can have every day or have several of each evening.
Has the IPA craze peaked, or do you think do you think it might end at some point in the future?
I don't know. IPAs still have legs from everything I can see. They're still going strong. It definitely has become, you know, America's style as our prototype style. I've been in Europe a lot recently, and you know, it was English beer in particular that really inspired the American craft beer movement 30 years ago. And now I go over to England and I go into a good beer bar, and they're serving American pale ales and American style IPAs made by English brewers.
Nice.
So
Ray,
it's going everywhere.
Ray, I would love to continue this discussion for several hours, perhaps at a bar someday. But for now,
absolutely.
Happy National Beer Day. The man who started the Cicerone program. Very interesting. Ray, appreciate your time from Chicago.
Thanks very much. Glad to be here, Jeff.